Megan Thee Stallion lied about that night. Hey guys, welcome to another celebrity tarot reading. Today we're going to be doing Megan Thee Stallion specifically as it relates to Tory Lane and her best friend. I forgot her best friend name, but I'm going to be sharing with you guys a download that Spirit gave me about the situation. So this reading's actually going to be a little bit short because I'm sick, y'all. I'm coming down with the sickness yet again. Ugh. And yeah, I do personalized tarot readings. If you don't know me, hi, my name's Soraya. I'm a psychic intuitive reader. And yeah, we're going to be doing a reading on Megan Thee Stallion. Ugh, child. Like, my thing is, I'm so confused. Why is she coming at her fans for her boring ass music? Like, I'm sorry, I've been always thought that Megan Thee Stallion's music is repetitive. Like, she does the same couple things over and over again. Like, How many times are we gonna keep hearing that? How many times are you going to keep saying Like, and I get it, that's her thing, that's her brand, but there's no variety. Like, you keep doing the same shit. Like, it's like a one trick pony. No pun intended. It's a one trick pony, and you're mad because your fans are not supporting you. Well, maybe if you listen to your fans and you've been listening to what people have been saying that Megan Thee Stallion's music is kind of like bland at this point, like it's the same shit over and over again. And maybe if you would have listened to that advice, maybe your album would be outselling, but it's not. So, anyways, like I said, I do personal tarot readings, link down in the description below. If you want to talk to me, emotional support, any advice, go to my Discord. You could ask me one on one or in a group setting. And I do videos on Patreon. So let's get into Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Okay, Spirit gave me a vision about the night that she allegedly got shot in the foot, which we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about her getting shot in the foot and why that story is so wonky. Let me tell you guys something. Have y'all ever heard somebody tell you a story or they told you something but like something seems off? It feels like that's not the full truth, or like you feel like you shouldn't take their word for it. That's how I originally felt about Megan Thee Stallion when she talked about Tory shooting her in the foot. I felt like the story was off or something was missing. Now, I saw a vision of what happened that night. Or let me tell you guys something. When psychics get vision, it doesn't always necessarily mean that's exactly what happened. It can just be symbolism for what happened. And so what I'm hearing was that it was a late night. It was midnight. This was like very, very late. I'm hearing they were out partying until the sun was up. Like, they were out for way longer than what they needed to be, right? This situation is very karmic, meaning there was a lot of lessons for each and every one of them to learn about this situation. I feel like the night that they were partying, they were blackout drunk. I'm hearing some were more drunk than others. I feel like Megan was the most drunk. Like, Megan was drunk out of her mind. This was around the time where people started speculating that she had an alcoholic issue, because she was always outside drinking and partying a little bit too much, for her own good. And so I'm hearing she was blackout drunk. So the story, Spirit is telling me whatever she says about that night, you shouldn't be taking her word for it because you were black drunk. You couldn't remember shit. I feel like you could try to piece things together, but you may end up having the Mandela effect. When you think something happened because somebody told you it happened, but it didn't really happen. You understand? So whatever Megan says about that night, we shouldn't be taking her word for it. Not to victim blame her or anything, but you were blackout drunk, sis. How can you for sure say you remember anything? Um, they're letting me know that Megan was just she was out of her mind. Like, I'm seeing Megan and she was just laughing, her eyes were closed. She was drunk. She was like, like, period, period, hot girl summer, like, how she probably is, twerking, doing the most. Like, she was just out of her mind. Now, some people when they get drunk, they get angry, they get agitated, but I'm hearing she was happy drunk this time. I'm not saying she doesn't get agitated when she gets drunk, but for this moment, she was happy drunk. Like, she was just goofy. She was goofy drunk. The kind of people, they get drunk, they laugh at everything, they think everything's a joke. And so I'm seeing her and Kelsey, her friend, her best friend at the time. She was with Kelsey, and Megan is just happy. She's laughing, she's having a good time, she's on top of the world. This is the time when her and Cardi B's song WAP was about to be released. So she was just feeling good, right? Tori as well. I'm hearing Tori wasn't as hyper as her, but he was chill. Like, they're making me feel like Tori was just chilling. Like, he was just relaxing. He was laid back. He was chill. You know what I mean? Like, I just keep hearing he was chill. He was enjoying having a woman's attention, whether it was Meg or Kelsey. He was enjoying getting the attention from women at the party, and he was just sipping on his drink. Now, he was drunk too, but he wasn't as drunk as Megan. Then we have Kelsey. Kelsey seems agitated. Like, her face, she just seems so annoyed. Now, you know what they say, drunk talk is sober thoughts. And so this is making me feel like things she had been thinking about before, even being drunk, things she's probably been thinking about for months, she was thinking about in that moment, right? So she's pissed. Like, I'm seeing Megan just dancing, her hands is in the air, she's twerking, she's living her life. And Kelsey is watching her and she's just like bitch, like, you know what I mean? That fake bitch. Now, if y'all want to know the truth, it is alleged that Megan was messing with Tory after Tory had already been messing with Kelsey, her best friend. So this is making me feel like Kelsey had already known about this, you know, because this is Hollywood, people talk, and it makes me feel like Kelsey had been known that Megan went behind her back and slept with Tory after Tory already messed with Kelsey. Now, Spirit is telling me Megan excuse me, Spirit is telling me Tori and Kelsey weren't together. But just because they weren't together doesn't mean it's okay for Megan to sleep with Tori. You know, it's one of those things where it's like when you're best friends with somebody, it's an unspoken rule. You don't sleep with your best friends like leftovers. Like, bitch, you never collect your best friend's leftovers, period. And so I'm hearing Megan broke the girl code. She broke the girl code by sleeping with Tori. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like Tori was pushing up on Meg. Tori like he knows he's wrong for messing with Megan after messing with Kelsey. He knew, but I'm hearing Megan was attractive. He wanted to be with her. She was the hottest thing on the block, and so it is what it is. But moving on, right? Megan is having a good time. Tori's just in the background chilling, which I want you guys to pay attention to this. Tori is in the background chilling. He's not aggravated. Like, I don't get the vibe that he was mad. So, how was he the aggressor? How did he shoot you? He wasn't even aggravated. You know, unless it was genuinely an accident. I just don't feel like he was angry. I don't get angry vibes now. If you guys don't know, allegedly Tory does have allegations of domestic violence against him with his ex-girlfriend, but I'm just this particular night, I don't get that Tory was mad. I actually feel like he was just chilling. He was just like, you know when you smoke weed and like you're just like laid back, you're just like you know what I mean? You're in the zone. That was him. It was Kelsey with the attitude, right? So meanwhile, Megan is out of her mind. I'm hearing like she's too drunk to even talk. Like for real, like she's too drunk to form coherent thoughts. Like logic is out the window at this point for Megan. Kelsey, on the other hand, I feel like she's drunk too. She's not as blackout drunk as Megan, but she's drunker than she needs to be, right? Like at the end of the day, between Meg, Tori, and Kelsey, none of them should be driving. That's how drunk they are. Like they're too drunk to drive, all of them. So as Megan's just in the clouds, she's having fun. Kelsey's very much angry. She's angry, and I'm hearing the more she sees Megan laugh and jump and be so carefree, she's getting more angrier the more Megan is more carefree because she's like, bitch, how can you sit there and laugh and have a good time? You just slept with my man. So Kelsey decides, and this is the vision, right? I'm explaining to you my vision that I got. Kelsey decides that this is the right time. Oh shit! Y'all, a bee just came, bitch. I got so scared. Y'all see how quick I got the fuck up out of there? I need to stop doing readings out in the open, cause bitch, these animals and shit, they must think I'm like Snow White or something. Like, what about me says come to me? Like, bitch, I'm trying to do this reading. Anyways, so, as Megan's having fun, laughing, just out of her fucking mind, Kelsey decides that this is the right time to ask her and question her. Basically, basically, she checked her. If y'all from New York, or if you know what that means, you know what that means. She decided this was the right time to check Megan, and I'm saying I'm being sarcastic because Spirit is telling me. You know this wasn't the right time, but she's drunk out of her mind too. Like she's not as drunk as Megan, but she's still drunk, and so I'm hearing that she whatever she was feeling before, it was amplified. Like her drinking amplified her emotions she already felt before to the point where she couldn't hide it. I feel like before this night, she been was feeling a way about Megan sleeping with her man, which rightfully so. Spirit is telling me she had a reason to be upset. Who wouldn't be upset? But the fact that you didn't address it to her at a proper time and place, that is where you became the wrong person, right? So she pushes up on her, and I'm hearing Megan again. She's like, her eyes is kind of closed. She's laughing, and Kelsey's like, so bitch, what's up? Like, you wanted to sleep with Tory after my, like, how my leftovers taste, bitch. Like, why'd you sleep with Tory after I already had him? And Megan is kind of caught off guard because again, she's blackout drunk. She can't form coherent thoughts, right? So she's like, what? Like, girl, what you talking about? Like, Tory, like, bitch, he for everybody. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, again, she's being serious, but Megan is not, like, she's drunk. She can't be serious right now. So Kelsey is like, so you think this shit is a joke? You think this shit is like, you think it's cool to sleep with your best friend man? And Megan is like, girl, it's not that serious. Like, y'all weren't even together. And Kelsey's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just hearing the more Megan wasn't really taking this shit serious, the more it upset Kelsey. And so Kelsey, like, the more they're going back and forth, and like I said, Kelsey is really trying to have like she's really trying to converse with somebody who's blackout drunk. Like, so it's not funny. So Kelsey's getting more agitated and agitated. I'm hearing Megan's like, "Whoa, girl, calm down. Like, is it that serious?" And she's like, "Yes, it's that serious." And so I'm hearing Kelsey was the aggressor in this situation, right? I feel like Kelsey kind of pushed her a little bit. Like that was the beginning of the the altercation, right? Kelsey kind of pushed her a little bit, like, so bitch, what's up? What's up with you? And I'm hearing Tory, Tory obviously being in the middle of this whole situation, he kind of seen this shit going down. So I feel like they were already in their own little bubble while this was taking place. Even if they were in the same place, like say they were all sitting in a car, it feels like Tory was just somewhere else. Like it feels like Tory was just like he's one of those people where sometimes when he gets drunk or whenever he's under the influence, he just gets in his own head and he's like somewhere else. He was chilling. But it feels like soon as he saw the shit kind of start to get out of control between them two, he tried to break it up. He was like, "Whoa, Kelsey, chill out, chill out." And she's like, "Nah, fuck that bitch. Like you try to you slept with the guy I was fucking with after I already had him, and you didn't even tell me. But you're weird. Like, you know what I mean?" And so I don't know where the gun came from, but it feels like Kelsey, she wasn't thinking when she did this shit. Like again, she's drunk too. It's no excuse, but she was very drunk too, and it feels like she acted on impulse, right? It feels like while they were scuffling, she saw the gun. Like the gun, for some reason, just so happened to be there out in the open. She grabbed the gun impulsively. Spirit is saying this was impulse. She didn't think this through. This wasn't premeditated. This was all in the heat of the moment. She grabbed the gun and she was like, so, bitch, what's up? Bitch, what's up? And she was trying to shoot at Megan. Okay, so Kelsey was really about to, like, Kelsey was crashing out, long story short. I'm hearing Megan was just in shock. Like again, she's blackout drunk. She's not able to really, it feels like she's not able to really assess the severity of the situation, but she's confused. She's like, girl, like, what's going on? So Tori is like, no, Kelsey, like, it feels like Tori, what's so crazy? Energetically, what I'm getting from the situation is that Tori was the only one who was in his right mind. Even though they're all blackout drunk, he was the only one being like semi-responsible. So he's like, so he sees Kelsey with the gun, and Tori's like, Kelsey, like, chill out, chill out. And so as he's trying to like grab the gun from her, Kelsey's like, no, no. And I'm hearing that's when Kelsey accidentally, right? I don't think it was an accident. I feel like she definitely wanted to shoot Megan. I don't know where, but she wanted to shoot Megan. It feels like she aimed a bullet at Megan before Tori was able to fully get the gun out her hand while they were still tussling for it. Kelsey shot at Megan. Now, Spirit is letting me know the bullet did not go in her body. That was the grace of God. I feel like in this moment, Megan's ancestral team, her guardian angels, they really showed up for her, and I feel like they blessed her. Like they protected her in this moment. Cause she was 2 seconds away from being killed. Okay? If Tori was not there to stop Kelsey, Megan would have died that night. Or she would have been badly injured. So they're making me feel like as that's the reason why, and they're saying this is why Tory's hands was on the gun. This is why his fingerprints were found on the gun, because he was tussling with Kelsey to get the gun out of her hand, because she was for real, she was finna shoot Megan. Like I said, because he was able to get the gun out of her hand, it only ended up grazing her a little bit. Like I feel like the gun grazed her foot. It didn't go inside her foot. The gun, so for example, this is Megan's foot, right? The gun went like this. The bullet went like this. It grazed her foot. So that is why she has bullet fragments near her foot. I'm hearing the The power of a bullet when it's shot through a gun is very strong. Like it could do damage even without touching you. Like you can get physically injured simply just by a bullet grazing your skin. That is why she had bullet fragments in her foot. Okay, again, her guardian angels really showed up to protect her. If y'all don't believe in guardian angels, y'all better start believing, because this is a prime example. She was 2 seconds away from death. Okay, she was 2 seconds away from getting. Like, I'm hearing if Megan got shot in her foot, she would have had to get some sort of surgery, and she probably wouldn't be able to use her foot. Like, so she was very protected in this moment, right? And so it feels like when this happened, when this situation happened, right? Obviously, Tory looks like the bad guy because he has the gun in her hand now. Mind you, I feel like for some reason, when that bullet shot, when Kelsey shot that bullet, it's like something in Megan woke up and she understood the severity of the situation. So if she didn't realize, I feel like she didn't think Kelsey was being serious before, because it's like, oh, you're my best friend. Like, why would you be trying to shoot me? It feels like she wasn't taking the situation serious until that bullet was shot. When that bullet grazed her foot, I feel like she understood, like she kind of woke up. You know what I mean? She was like, whoa, you know? I've heard people say that, like they can kind of like snap themselves out of being drunk. And it feels like she was able to do that. She was like, whoa, like you just tried to shoot me. But again, Megan was blackout drunk. So it feels like she didn't understand what was going on. Even though she understood the severity, she still didn't understand, like, okay, who shot me? Was it Meg or was it Tori? Because when she looked up after the bullet was shot, who had the gun in their hand? Tory. But why did he have the gun in her hand? Exactly. Why did he have the gun in his hands? It's because he took it from Kelsey. But it feels like she saw Tory with the bullet in his hand. She saw Tory with the gun in his hand, and she automatically went to assuming, because again, she's drunk, she's scared out of her mind. She just got shot at. She doesn't know who exactly shot at her, but her first instinct was, oh shit, Tory shot at me, right? Tory shot at me, because obviously he had to have shot at me, right? Because he has the gun in his hand. So I feel like from the point in her story where Megan, okay, so if y'all don't know, Megan testified. She gave basically a series of events when she got shot at, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like past the point where she's like, okay, I called the police, that is when she starts telling the truth. But everything before then, when she was like, Tori shot at her, that's not the truth. I'm hearing that is a story that her lawyer, her legal team came up with to protect her and to create an alibi. They created a story. That's not the truth. That's not exactly what happened, right? So it feels like when she looked up and she saw the gun in Tori's hand, she genuinely did think that he shot at her, because again, she's drunk out of her mind. She didn't know what happened exactly. She only knows that somebody tried to shoot at her. So she went to the police and she was like, yo, she called the police, or the police was either already there or she called them, right? She called for them. And she told them, yeah, Tory shot at me. Like, he has the gun in his hand. He had to have shoot at me. He had to have shot at me, right? So she went in the ambulance. I'm seeing the ambulance kind of took her away. And Kelsey and Tory was arrested. I feel like if Kelsey wasn't arrested, at the very least, police took Tory under custody. But it feels like the police were just trying to get them to separate, right? It's like, y'all are all drunk. Y'all need to go home. And so they separated after that. That is when Megan told the truth, is when she was like, yeah, I told the police he shot at me. The police came, they took me away. That is the only part that's true. Okay, so long story short, Tory is in jail for no reason. Tory is in jail because Megan lied. Okay, he did not shoot Megan. The gun was in his hand. Yes, he had the gun. He held the gun. Matter of fact, that could have been his gun. But he did not shoot at Megan. He tried to prevent Kelsey from shooting at Megan, because Kelsey was on some bird shit. She was mad. I mean, well, technically Kelsey wasn't on some bird shit. It was Megan. But anyways, now y'all may be wondering, so why is he in jail? Like how could they have proved he did something he didn't? That is the scary part about the legal system, the justice system. This is why I tell you guys to do your research and educate yourself on the legal system, because the legal system, and I said this a long time ago, I put this on everything I love. I said this a long time ago when a lady crashed into me. Yes, y'all, I almost died last year because I got into a car accident. A lady crashed into me. She crashed into me. I told the police that. This lady told the police some fabricated story, and guess who they believed? They believe that lady because guess what? When it comes to the legal system, it's not about the truth. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about who can tell a better story. Let me say that again. The legal justice system is not about the truth. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about who can tell the best story, who sounds the best. And because that lady got up in that police face and she was crying and acting hysterical, like she didn't just hit me, they believed her. They didn't believe me. Even though I told the truth, they believed her. Why? Because she told a better story. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Y'all heard it from me first. Y'all know I be trying to warn y'all. I be trying to put y'all on game. And so I'm hearing Spirit is telling me that he went to jail because he didn't have the right equipment. He didn't have the best team. She had a better team, right? And they're letting me know that her affiliation with Rock Nation was the reason why she was able to succeed within this case. I felt like if she didn't have Rock Nation, she wouldn't have been able to succeed in this case, right? And I don't care what nobody says. Oh, California was the one that put him in jail, not her. At the end of the day, she testified. Her team was able to form a great alibi that was able to get him to jail. Okay. Um, so moving on. That is why Tory is in jail, is because she had the right connections. All right. I feel like Rock Nation has some, they're letting me know that Rock Nation has some inner connections within the justice system, which is corrupt. That's corrupt. When you are using your power, oop, I hate these fucking bees. Anyways, like I said, it just feels like he didn't have the right equipment to combat Megan. Like I'm hearing they were just like, I'm hearing they were vicious. Like they were vicious. The legal team, she had the right affiliations, like I said. Rock Nation, they're making me feel like they share lawyers. Like for example, right? Rock Nation is a company, it's a is it a music label? Whatever the fuck. So whatever, it's a company. It feels like Rock Nation has certain affiliations with certain lawyers, right? So, say for example, I'm a high, rich class woman. You come to me, you're my friend. You're like, yo, I just robbed the bank. You know, they're trying to get me to jail. I'm like, okay, okay. Or you tell me, yo, I just killed somebody. Like, I need a good lawyer. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put you onto this lawyer. She defended me like 5,000 times and I never went to jail. So let me put you onto this lawyer. She's very high class, high ranking, and she's very good at defending. So let me put you onto her. That's what Rock Nation has. They have affiliations with a couple lawyers. I feel like 5 lawyers, 6 lawyers. Um, and you can hit up if you have affiliation with Rock Nation, you could hit them up and be like, yo, Rock Nation, they trying to put me in jail for robbery and can I get connection with this lawyer? And okay, let me put you on to this lawyer. That is what they did for Megan. I feel like Megan reached out to her label. She said, yo, look, I'm having legal issues. Can y'all help me? And, Rock Nation said, okay. And if y'all don't know, Rock Nation is also owned by Beyonce and Jay-Z, and I'm pretty sure a couple of other people, but, they're the forefront. So, yeah, I feel like Rock Nation was like, okay, like, let me put you onto this lawyer. She will be sure to help you out. And that's how Megan was able to win the case. He just didn't have the right legal team. I feel like if he had the right lawyer, the right legal team, he probably wouldn't have been in jail. And if he did go to jail, it wouldn't be for this long. Moving on, I'm hearing that Tory will be brought to justice. Let me say that again. Tory will be brought to justice. I don't necessarily know how, but they're making me feel like the truth will be exposed and people are going to realize he's not the bad guy, the villain that Megan tried to make him be. Now, was he wrong in the situation for some things? Yes. Why are you fucking with 2 girls that are best friends with each other? Like, diabolical behavior, you know? But he will be brought to justice. They're also making me feel like Megan will receive her karma for lying. You put an innocent man in jail. That's not okay. Um, and yeah, they're just making me feel like Megan plays the victim card a lot. Like she over like whatever. Moving on. I feel like definitely after this situation, Megan learned a couple things. I also feel like after this, she kind of stopped drinking so much. Like this was a reality check for her. Again, this was a very karmic situation. Kelsey, they're making me feel like Kelsey knows she was in the wrong. So also, let me explain this, right? I feel like when it first happened, I feel like Megan genuinely thought that Tory shot at her because again, it only makes sense, right? He was the one with the gun in his hand, right? But it feels like later on she realized that it wasn't Tori. So in the beginning, I feel like she genuinely thought he shot at her. But I feel like she later on realized that wasn't the truth. Where she's wrong is once you realize that's not the truth, you should have backtracked and said, okay, my bad. It wasn't you. But it feels like, you know, when you start a lie and you have to keep up with the lie, like that's what's going on. She has to keep up with the lie. She knows Tory did not shoot at her. Yeah, he had the gun, but he was not the one that shot it. Right? Um, I feel like he just had the gun to look cool. Like it feels like he just kept the gun. Like I don't feel like Tory had the gun for nefarious purposes. Like you know, hood niggas like they just like to carry around guns to look tough. That's what they're making me feel like. Because I feel like they all had security. Like there was no reason for him to really have a gun. Like, but I feel like he learned his lesson in that regard as well. Like he's probably never really gonna carry a gun like that. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, it just felt like she realized later that he wasn't the one that shot at her, and Spirit is saying you should have told the truth, but you didn't. Um, so yeah, you know, Nicki Minaj was right. Megan lied on her deceased mother. And yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to take away that Megan is a victim in this situation, although it is fucked up that you fucked your best friend man, which I don't think she'll ever admit to. You know, it feels like she didn't really want that to be out in the media because of bad publicity. But yeah, you were dead ass wrong for that. But she didn't deserve to be shot at. It feels like Kelsey is guilty. Kelsey knows she is wrong and she's guilty. You know, I'm just hearing I wasn't in my like I feel like if Kelsey was to testify and tell the truth, it feels like she would just say, oh, like in her defense, I wasn't in my right mind. You know, I was just angry. I was upset. I wasn't thinking straight. And I was just thinking about my feelings. Like I was consumed in my emotions. You allowed your emotions to consume you. Anyways.